Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. Okay, this is quick because Emily's just gone out. She's gone out on her roller skates to go out skating. But I've just shared on the channel of love Facebook page how to work out your birth chart. And I keep saying that this video has been haunting me. Now, it wasn't by Astrology Cafe, which Alana recommended, but watch the video first. I'm going to attach it in the description box. This video's been hounding me and I'm so pleased I watched it. I really am. Anyway, it took me to then Astrology Cafe to work out my birth chart, and watch the video first though. And if you haven't got your birth chart done, then pop over to Astrology Cafe. I'm just going to go off screen, so I'm not going to be looking. I'm going to be reading because I'm going to read to you what it says. Like for myself for this this lifetime. Now, I don't know my exact time of birth. I do know my date of birth. I don't know the time. I used to put in around 4:30 in the afternoon because I believe it's around that time, but I don't know for sure. So for this one, I've put not known. Okay. Now, I'm going to read this out to you. It's very interesting, guys. I can really see, oh my goodness. I'll try and point out some bits. So it doesn't really matter what my chart is, as in the signs. It's just really what it tells me about me. Okay, so this birth chart report shows the positions of the planets for Lucy. Okay, so the sun represents vitality, a sense of individuality and outward shining creative energy. There is something very solid about Taurus natives, no matter what the rest of their charts say about them. Though they are dependable, most of the time this genuinely shows itself more in habit than in outright helpfulness. Taurus natives are sensual folk, and this includes sex, but extends to pleasures in all areas. They delight in the sensual pleasures of food, a comfortable blanket, a richly coloured aquarium to look at, and the smell of flowers or spring rain, pleasing melodies coming from their stereos, and so forth. Some might even say they live through their senses more than most. When Taurus natives work, they work hard. They do it with a steadiness that may rarely be considered quick. Rather, it's dependable, plodding, and steady effort that has its payoffs. Security is immensely important to Taurus. Some of them actively seek wealth, while others are content to be comfortable. The Taurus definition of comfortable may not be exactly the same as the rest of the signs, but comfort is definitely a driving force. Although hardworking, their fixed and comfort-loving nature sometimes makes them appear lazy. This is only because they separate work and leisure so well. When they work hard, and when they don't really play as such, they relax. A solar Taurus who has kicked his or her feet up is rooted there. You'll be hard pressed to get them to move. On a mental level, you'll likely have the same problem. Taurians stick with things and ideas, and therein lies one of the reasons why they are known for their stubbornness. Taurus is a fixed sign, and they have a fair measure of tradition and steadiness in their makeup that keeps them rooted. Let's get on to the possessiveness. I haven't read all of this. I only got halfway through and it was like, okay, this is the time if I'm going to share this with you. The possessiveness associated with Taurus shows up in all areas of life in some way. Taurus likes to own things and sometimes people. A nice home, a piece of land, this can be modest. A paid-off car, that aquarium mentioned earlier. A couple of pets, maybe a solid business. In love and relationship, there is an earthly kind of possessiveness that may be considered jealous by some, but there is actually quite a difference between being possessive and being jealous. Taurus natives are rarely jealous and petty. They do, however, think of the people they love as theirs. It adds to their sense of security. Okay, we've got a short description. She is strong-willed, she has charm, and she is tolerant and, I don't know this word, Stoical, Stoical. She likes pleasure and the good things in life, appreciates the arts. I'm not going to look it up. I need to turn my phone off. Because I don't know how long Emily's going to be out for. She wanted to go out before the sun set. That's what she said to me. And off she went with her roller skates. I should really go and join her. I have my own roller skates. I haven't practiced enough yet though. Anyway, should we get back to this? Talking about, myself. She is strong-willed, she has charm, and she is tolerant and stoical. She likes pleasure and the good things in life, appreciates the arts. Weaknesses, obstinacy, laziness, she can be materialistic. Okay, because your ego and your mind are usually on the same page, you possess much mental energy. You are always in a position to think about what you want, and in many ways, this is an interruption of the will. You are highly intelligent with a great drive to communicate with others. You invest a lot of pride in your intellectual capacities. You may not always listen as well as you speak, however. You might be too busy thinking about what to say next. But you are very curious, and although you enjoy expressing yourself, you usually don't dominate conversations completely. As far as studying or learning goes, you are better off reading the material than listening to a teacher. These traits come from a strong need to take an active role in communications. It is very hard for you to passively listen and absorb information. Your opinions are usually strong, and you are an independent thinker. You tend to be proud of your opinions and thoughts, and might easily get a bruised ego if you are not heard. If your opinions are pushed aside or ignored, or if your opinions are criticised. You are expressive and possibly a very animated speaker. You are also very witty and others enjoy your playful and sometimes mischievous sense of humour. You faced a fair number of challenges. Let's clear the throat. Talk about the past now. Let's keep hold of that. You faced a fair number of challenges in your life, especially in the first half of your life, in which your attempts to express your will were often thwarted. There can be a persistent feeling that you don't get what they want in comparison to others. You can feel unlucky at times, attempts to control your environment, and sometimes others may be frequent. You want to be considered an accomplished and important person, and when you face obstacles, you don't always see that you are your own worst enemy. You may long to be considered important in the eyes of the world, yet you harbour fear of success at the same time. You take failures and minor setbacks to heart and may even practically beat yourself up over them. Self-awareness to the point of real self-consciousness is a possibility. The truth is, nobody holds a microscope over you except for yourself. A little setback or a fox pass needn't be analysed to death. Fingers needn't be pointed. No, you didn't make a spectacle of yourself when you made a mistake. You need to stop worrying about always being right or appearing suave and accomplished. When you ease the pressure you put on yourself, you find that you don't face as many brick walls. It is very much about what you feel you deserve. Deep down inside, if you let yourself truly believe that you deserve happiness and peace of mind, you will find it. You may engage in a lot of self-censoring. I shouldn't is a common censoring mechanism with you. When you express egotism of any form, some part of you feels guilty. As the sun rules our conscious mind, it does enough censoring on its own. It is the adult within us. Saturn, on the other hand, is more like the parent within us. We need parents to guide us when we are children, and to some degree as adults, but for the most part, we don't need to be censored indefinitely. Something that seems to be the case with Saturn's Sun hard aspects, except that the censoring and parenting is coming from within. Ideally, you eventually learn that the standards you set for yourself are too high, and that may be the reason you seem to hit brick walls. You have a sarcastic sense of humour, a keen intelligence, and the ability to apply caution and strategy. The vitality may suffer, and troubles with the bones, teeth, and circulation may surface, especially at times of stress in your life. It's very interesting because I do feel I have circulation problems. Well, I found that out. I was told that when I was younger, and I was on tablets. My hands, they just kind of go red and purple, and I just say they're the devil's hands. But let's carry on. It's a devil in me. But that will make sense. Okay. There's loads, isn't there? Wow. It's like I've been told. You got to do this, guys. Your identity rides on your sense of personal freedom. It can be quite a challenge to get you to do what you don't want to do, simply because you see any attempts by others to push you in a certain direction as threatening to your sense of freedom. You are a very dynamic person who questions tradition and authority, yet, paradoxically, you can be quite set in your ways. Although a humanitarian in many ways, you can be a little brisk when it comes to sentimentality or what you perceive to be excessive attachment to the past or to tradition. You can have a lot of nervous energy and defensiveness. It can be difficult to hold a 9-to-5 job or to develop steady routines. You work best when you can manage your own schedule, and you work in spurts. When you are hit with creative inspiration, you are capable of tremendous effort. However, you can be quite temperamental, and it is very hard for you to pour your hearts and souls into something that you don't feel for at the moment. You don't like superficiality or pretense, which is an admirable trait. However, your disdain for pretense can be problematic in a world where people are expected to perform whether they are inspired or not. You should try your best to channel your high levels of intuition, inventiveness, and spiritedness to create endeavours or important causes. You might find that you encounter much less resistance in day-to-day life this way. Oh, I feel that that's what I've done already. Okay, awesome. So many things I feel that I've worked through that I recognise so much within myself. That's amazing. Yeah, okay. So the moon represents the emotional responses, unconscious, predestination, and the self-image. The moon represents the emotions, and the moon sign shows how a person expresses themselves when at home, at ease, and comfortable. Depending on other positions in the chart, moon in Leo people are not necessarily outgoing. When they feel comfortable, they do like being the centre of attention. That is, they like being in the spotlight, in the comfort of their own homes, and with family and friends. They enjoy entertaining others and often take on the role of the comic. I haven't read this yet, guys. This is like new to me. I'd stopped at the sun. Okay, we're getting on to my moon now. They have an inner mission to set things right and genuinely like to oversee the goings-on in their little circle. This is a rather creative position of the moon. At the very least, moon in Leo people want to create and entertain. They can be rather lazy at times and a little bossy too. Genuinely though, they have a deep need to treat others fairly and justly. Lunar Leos require lots and lots of love and care in order to function well in the world. When they feel slighted, does that say slighted? When they feel slighted, these people can be dramatic in their emotional displays. When their pride has been hurt, they are given to the big screens and sulking. Okay. When their pride has been hurt, they are given to the big screens and sulking. This rarely happens in public, however. Cool. Lunar Leos are far too concerned about their image to make splashy scenes outside the comfort of their own homes. In public, they prefer to take things in dignified ways. At home, however, they're given to big displays of emotional drama. These scenes genuinely don't last too long, however. Lunar Leos are often personally popular folk who are valued for their integrity and strong sense of justice. Genuinely, it is easy to reason with a lunar lion, appealing to their well-developed sense of fairness usually works well. Okay, I'm picking my nails like it's like, what else are you going to say? Like, I'm recording this. No, this is good. Oh, dear. Short description: she is brave, knowing how to take risks and possessing the courage of her convictions, honest, imposing and sharp. She has a great sense of and respect for justice. Organisational sense, selectivity with friends but is not overly influenced by them. Taste for splendour. Potential issues: changing and numerous affections, emotionally demanding and proud, brooding when attention is not forthcoming. Okay, let's hope I've worked through some of those issues. I did say that full self-awareness was a possibility for this lifetime for me. Okay, there is a conflict here between the head and the heart. Your emotions tell you one thing and your mind tells you something else. The result is a seesaw effect. You can be emotional to the point of irrationality at one moment and logical the next. How to blend the head and the heart is a constant struggle for you, usually because you have a tendency to resist blends in them. Hopefully not anymore. I've been working on this for a good few years now. Come on. You love to chat, enjoy storytelling and writing poetry and writing/poetry. Sometimes enjoy bending the truth. And you possess a sparkling wit. You are animated when you speak and you have a sense of humour that others appreciate simply because it's very imaginative. You may be especially adept at satire. I don't know what these words are, but we've got to kind of crack on. People can usually read your mood by how you're talking. When nervous or excitable, you talk up a storm. Moodiness is a characteristic, definitely, and an easily subjective nature makes you prone to hypersensitivity. It usually has to do with the fact that you take in so very much from your environment. This is also one of the reasons why you tend to be indecisive. You may swing between irrational and rational thoughts and feelings. It's pretty much something that takes place upstairs in the mind, although others are sure to see the struggle from time to time. You are always interesting and usually funny. You have a tendency to misrepresent yourself with what you say from time to time, but you're a charming, if a little kooky friend. Kooky friend. Okay. If she is happiest in her own little imaginary world, they can be very nowhere because she can never find her ideal world on the outside, and this problem can create a lot of change, instability and disquiet. Must aim to enjoy the moment and real world more often. She should watch for fibbing, gossip, but sensitivity to criticism. Thin-skinned leaves her feeling vulnerable. If the other aspects allow, she can be a very good novelist, great imagination and observation. She controls her feelings. She has a strong sense of duty and self-esteem, very prudent. She can concentrate on a long-term task, manual or intellectual, with success. She perseveres and is serious in most things she does, but is humorous, satirical, steadfast and upright. Positive aspect: she is kind and sympathetic, with a strongly compassionate nature. When in love, she is usually very devoted. In fact, she is devoted by nature, not only in matters of the heart. Oh, I like that. Okay. There is an unmistakable, compassionate and understanding side to her nature. She has a natural affinity to music. Hey, I do. While everyone enjoys music, people with Moon in harmonious aspect to Neptune respond to music as a vehicle to heal, relax, and to uplift the soul. Naturally perceptive, without even trying, she tunes into the feelings of others and the mood of her surroundings. There is a distinct emotional need to escape into the world of imagination and to withdraw from others at times when she needs to recenter herself, largely because she tends to take in a lot of mixed energies from her surroundings. Strong and sudden feelings and hunches can overcome her. More often than not, her intuition is correct, although her imagination is also powerful and she can read too much into a situation as a result. Some laziness is associated with this position. This stems from a natural timidity. We'll get there with her words. Okay. Wonder if it picks up about my words. Some laziness is associated with this person. This stems from a natural timidity and sensitivity that is apparent from youth. Oh, that would pick up on my words. Everyone spoke for me. I had to go to speech therapy. Anyway, let's not go there. Well, they might. She may have been labelled shy in youth. No, everyone spoke for me, and family members or friends may have jumped in to save her from situations that require boldness or aggressiveness. They spoke for me. Sorry, we're not doing that, but they did. It's known that I couldn't say my F's and Th's and S's and I don't know. And it's because they used to speak for me. I didn't have a voice. Seem to have one now. Okay. Let's go back. That's incredible how I've just picked up. I'm channeling this as well. So this stems from a natural timidity and sensitivity that is apparent from youth. Well, now it is. She may have been labelled shy in youth, and family members or friends may have jumped in to save her from situations that require boldness or aggressiveness. That's the baby. Thus, passivity was accepted, and as adults she may be less experienced than most when it comes to reaching out or going after what she wants. Okay. She can waver between a rich and successful domestic life and social success, perhaps having difficulty succeeding at both. Very perceptive and given to psychoanalyzing people and given to analysing people. As strategic, powerful emotions and intense feelings. Okay, let's carry on. Mercury represents communications, Cartesianism, and logical spirit. Still don't know some of these words. She is faithful to her ideas, unchangeable and quietly opinionated, persistent and discreet. Likes all the pleasures life can offer, careful in speech, deliberate, intelligent, learns best through the senses, not through the traditional educational system. Let's not go there. She possesses plenty of common sense, and her simplicity makes it easy to get from point A to point B in as many few steps as possible. That's the plan. Weaknesses: stubborn, obstinate, withdrawn, slow to react. She is reserved, conservative, ambitious and stubborn. She might have problems expressing herself, particularly verbally, due to shyness or fear of criticism. Not anymore, Buster. Social success can be slow and laborious, but she does not give up easily and is patient, can spend a lot of time on communications and getting them just right. Whatever you say and write is self-censored to some degree. It's hard for you to pour out your emotions, no matter how emotional or needy you feel on the inside. And this is because you are always aware of what others might think of you with what you say. You are careful with what you reveal to others. You make plenty of disclaimers and often come across as negative or sarcastic without tending to. You often review conversations you have had with others, and you often kick yourself for saying something you didn't intend to, or for not saying something witty. There can be some feelings of insecurity about how you speak and communicate in general. Self-consciousness and hypersensitivity is experienced with regards to your intelligence and or ability to get ideas across to others, especially in youth. You need plenty of positive feedback from others in order to feel more confident and less blocked. Recognise that you are most likely harder on yourself about how you communicate than others are. Ask people close to you for an objective point of view. Chances are they find you to be astute, intelligent, and an effective speaker or writer. We often tell our kids, don't worry about what others think, but telling this to a person with a hard Saturn aspects is not enough, nor is it realistic. They will worry. You rarely accept compliments wholeheartedly, yet you crave them and need them. I love your compliments now. It's amazing. Okay. Others around you tend to stop complimenting you, feeling that you either don't need compliments or don't want to hear them. Nothing can be further from the truth. She likes debates and controversy, and above all, to contradict. She may lack diplomacy and tends to dissipate her energy. She cannot stay in the same place for too long, especially mentally, preferring change even if it means a backward step in her career. Okay, Venus. Venus represents an interest in emotions and values, exchange and sharing with others. This is a lot longer than what I anticipated, guys. Got a lot to say. Venus in Aries people flirt by being upfront, direct and even daring. They try to win you over by expressing how enterprising and independent they are. Their style of expressing love can be maddening, me-centred, but the right person for them will find this approach charming. People get turned on by Venus in Aries' aura of innocent charm, even when they are being childish and impatient. So I'm such a kid, impatient kid. Okay. Venus in Aries people behave in a childlike, fun-loving manner in love. They are turned on by energy and activity. Turn-offs include a relationship that is considered stuffy or too mature, vagueness and beating around the bush. In love, Venus in Aries people are hopelessly addicted to the conquest. In order for a relationship to remain fresh and new for them, they require they require plenty of stimulation. Oh my. Let's carry on. Pleasing Venus in Aries involves fueling their need for action. Be direct, open and honest with them. They won't much like game playing for evasiveness unless it is in the complete spirit of fun. Feed their need for spontaneity and appreciate their playfulness. Understand their desire for the relationship to remain young and fresh. Aries likes to take the lead in love, even if their sun sign is gentle Pisces. Let them. At least most of the time. Indulge them their many whims and understand that they thrive on competition even when they're competing with you. Oh dear, that's so for my masculine. Okay. Wants to take the lead in love, loving the conquest, can be a spendthrift with money, given to making impulsive purchases, seeks to keep things exciting in love, very ardent, spontaneous and charming in her direct and straightforward approach in love. Okay, let's have a look at this conjunction with Venus. It's Mars. She is amorous, not a peaceful and calm lover, but a passionate one with a strong temperament. She is demonstrative in love and usually fully enjoys healthy pleasures and life to the full. Oh, okay. Sextile between genius. Fucking genius, man. Okay, I'll make a genius out of you. Sextile between Venus, Jupiter. She is good-hearted and generous, possessing a good character. She likes well-being, comfort, a life of ease without problems. She has good relations with her social circle. She is easy to approach. All the same, she may fall in love easily. She has a successful partnership and professional life. People usually trust her. She has a good grasp of reality and of duty. She is thrifty, reserved, and usually not given to showing off. She likes truth and justice. In love, her sentiments are sincere and deep. She never plays false. She is, of course, faithful in love and friendship. She might love a much older person, appreciating that person's intelligence and good sense. I feel like is this what's going to go up on a dating site? This is kind of shit, isn't it? What am I about? We'll just have a read of this. Her professional life can be creative or inconstant. She has a taste for the arts, can be a dreamer, and may be easily influenced and romantic. She is emotional and very sensitive. Romantic, creative, gentle, and adaptable, you naturally express the finer qualities of mysterious and dreamy Neptune in your love relationships. Your imagination is rich and your fantasy world well developed. You are turned off by rudeness and crudeness and are drawn to the beauty in its many forms. You are very giving and generous, but maybe a little on the submissive side, or sometimes downright lazy, failing to take the initiative when situations call for it. Ooh, okay. In an attempt to control the outcome of a love relationship or the loved one's feelings, she can turn to manipulative games. Even if she does succeed at it, there is never a feeling that she has won someone over for who she is. And this feeds a vicious cycle that should be avoided if possible. I picked up on that one. Most definitely. That one I want to say I've worked through. No manipulative games going on this end. Okay. Apart from like the channeling. It's not me. Divine told me to do this part. Should we carry on? Is this video going to go out? Oh, it is. You guys are going to love this, aren't you? I'm cool with it. Listen, this was the path. Let's carry on after we've done all the games. We've lost it. Oh, it looks like it's going to get interesting as well. Why have we lost the flow? Here we are. In an attempt to control the outcome of a love relationship or the loved one's feelings, she can turn to manipulative games. Even if she does succeed at it, there is never a feeling that she has won someone ever for who she is. And this feeds a vicious cycle that should be avoided if possible. Her feelings are intense and even extreme when it comes to love. She might attract intense relationships that have love-hate themes as a result. She can be very passionate when in love, definitely, but also passionate when in hate. She easily puts pressure on a partner, expecting much loyalty and honesty in intimate relationships. Should avoid allowing relationships get to a point where the partner is superfluous and she is working through her own inner demons through that person. Yeah, self-reflection going on. So certainly she must learn much about herself through her relationships, and she may not always like what she sees. She meets herself, the darker side, or inner demons through her relationships, and it will be critical that she can recognise this as her own material and not project it onto the partner. I learnt that one. I'm hoping that lesson's learned. Letting go of a relationship can be hard for her to do, especially if Venus is in a fixed sign. Okay. So Mars represents a desire for action and physical energy. Mild-tempered and gentle, these guys and gals move through life in a manner that can hardly be considered direct. Mars is a planet of action and assertion, and Pisces is a passive sign that rarely asserts itself in a direct fashion. So the placement of Mars in Pisces is an unusual combination. Sometimes prone to feelings of guilt about their anger and difficulties with asserting themselves, Mars in Pisces individuals seem to go with the flow. This is certainly not a very active position for Mars, and natives will often let life happen instead of trying to control their life direction. This is a charming position, as individuals with Mars in Pisces don't appear like they are capable of harming a fly. However, those that don't find creative expression for this energy can stir up a storm through indirect aggression. Mars in Pisces people are not averse to playing games to get what they want, although even they don't always know exactly what they do want. Their desires are changeable and moody, and it's hard to really know where these natives stand on any particular issue. Alternatively, some Mars in Pisces people do take a stand on issues that are Piscean in nature, making compassion and love their mission. That's really interesting because Mars will be the divine masculine. So I want to say like my divine masculine here. That's what it feels like it's describing. It's a divine masculine energy where the Venus energy is the divine feminine. Okay. Because it can be difficult to align this ebbing and flowing of energy in the day-to-day world as it is, finding a job that supports this may be tough. The happiest Mars in Pisces individual are those that have a creative outlet that allow them to express their desires of the moment, their compassion, and even their anger, freely and imaginatively. An example of Mars in Pisces is Bono, lead singer of U2, who seems to have found the perfect outlet for his creativity through his music and as a spokesperson for love and compassion. Wow. Okay. So, sextile between Mars, Lilith. Love affairs are passionate. There is an instinctive understanding of intensity, the dark side of our natures and passion. Jupiter represents expansion and grace. Jupiter is in Gemini. She extracts the most good fortune when she uses her wit and ingenious, as well as when she is versatile, sociable, curious, and puts others at ease with friendliness and sincere curiosity. She values the intellect and sees opportunities to grow and succeed through intellectual, verbal, and written channels. She believes that intelligence and knowledge is the key to solving problems. We must be nearly done. We're coming up to 77, and it's like that's like the year of my birth, so let's carry on. A trine between Jupiter is Pluto. She likes to direct, she is intelligent and the organiser of the first order. Conjunction, 77 conjunction between Jupiter, Lilith. She could meet a partner much wealthier than herself. Good sexual understanding. Hey. Saturn represents contradiction and effort. Saturn is in Leo. In a position of authority, she likes and assumes responsibilities. She receives favours from patrons who recognise her merits, or similarly, she receives honours in return for well-accomplished tasks. Weaknesses, abuse of power, little feeling in the workplace. Worked on those weaknesses. 46, square between Saturn, Uranus. Okay, she does not like routine, whether at work or in her emotional life. She fights to keep her independence, her freedom of action. She would gladly remake the world. Bring it on. Trine between Saturn, Neptune. Her plans are realised in methodical fashion. She works hard to achieve success. Sextile between Saturn, don't know why I'm reading these out, Pluto. She perseveres, achieving her projects through hard work. Uranus represents individual liberty, egotistic liberty. We've only got 5% left, we best hurry up. Running out of power here, running out of juice. Uranus in Scorpio, intelligent and subtle. Usually she adores research, inquiry, investigation. Very sensual, may want to explore new ways to connect with others. Neptune represents transcendental, I'm not reading these right. I know these words, liberty, non-egotistical liberty. May especially enjoy long voyages, things foreign, being close to water. Altruistic, broad spiritual vision, humane and spiritual. Okay, she is perceptive and able to see layers to a situation. She is naturally drawn to learning what makes herself and others tick, most definitely. She may look for ways to relate to others. So the Lilith, Black Moon Lilith, represents our darker, deeper natures that may be repressed or buried. How much more? Come on, we're running out of juice, man. This is going to be longer than a reading. Well, we are reading like my life. Me. We're reading me. She can feel uncomfortable with speaking too much or too little. There we go. Look, I'm looking for the time. Or for her intelligence or social skills. She may be wary of people who seem to be indulgent in these, who are social butterflies, or who talk too much, or who seem to flaunt their intelligence. If I'm flaunting like well, what am I meant to do? Share me yours. I'll examine your life path. It's like that's kind of getting over my ego. So, okay. Her curiosity may have been stifled in some manner. Owning and accepting this side of the nature can be empowering. She can be wicked with what she says when angry. Shame in these areas can lead to extremes of behaviour and a feeling of being out of control. Working on self-acceptance is the key to empowerment. Okay, we've got some north nodes now. I'm not reading all this, am I? No, we're done. Oh, they've actually got the chart here. Oh, I must take a picture of that. I didn't realise, see? Okay, I think we're nearly done. We're just going to quickly skim this last part and I'm out of here. The south node, this is north node, south node. The south node represents our overdeveloped character traits. We are talented here, but if we overdo this area of life or hold on to these traits to feel secure, we may stagnate. The North Node points to the qualities that we need to work on and develop to achieve inner balance and fulfillment. Her path is to learn to cooperate, delegate, and share the load more often. She sometimes relies on herself so much that people in her life feel alienated or not needed. She is working on tact and patience. She may fear losing some freedom or independence if she involves others more, but allowing some feedback or help into her life can restore balance. She lets success into her life when she lets others in. Ultimately, she learns that self-justification stunts her growth. Qualities to develop and cultivate: cooperation, tact, sharing, and teamwork. Okay. And that's it. That's it. Let's come back to the video. That's a lot. I'm going to watch that back and listen. Okay, right. I hope you enjoyed. 41 minutes? Seriously. Chatting about me. Anyway, I'm off. I'll see you later on, guys, for a live. Maybe about 11, midnight, something like that. Okay. I'll see you then. Bye for now.